Hi, everybody. This is Senator Nick on behalf of ChampionsWay. We're going to get started right now. Thank you so much for attending today's webinar. We're very honored to have Master Paul Garcia doing an amazing webinar for us today. He doesn't even need an introduction, but I will anyway. Master Paul Garcia is one of the most successful school owners in the world. If you've not been to his locations, I've heard many stories about his one large location with over 600 members or 700 members, which is an amazing feat. I actually had the pleasure of witnessing Master Garcia speak at the UP ChampionsWay event, and it was one of the most motivating speeches I've ever seen. So Master Garcia, I was sitting in the audience. I was pumped. It was awesome. And without further ado, I want to turn it over to Master Paul Garcia, and thank you so much for taking time out of your schedule, and we're looking forward to all your great information, sir.
Well, sir, thank you very much. I deeply appreciate that. I also want to thank everybody at ChampionsWay that we've been working with. You all have been fantastic. I want to give a special thanks to Fahid for putting this together and yourself, and keep up the excellent information that you've been providing us with in regards to Mr. Marketer. I really enjoyed that information, and I appreciate your contribution. And I just wanted to thank everybody. I also want to thank everybody for logging in today, because we're going to have some fun and hopefully share with you some great information. You know, most people have probably read the book, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. And if not, it's a great book to read. And if you have read it, it's probably time for another reread, because you're at a different level and you're probably going to learn new things with a fresh set of eyes. But in that book, he talks about an event, and he's describing the power of perspective. And the reason why this is important, he talks about an event where he's on a train, and these kids are just wild. They're going crazy. They're unruly. And he starts to find it distracting. It's creating a lot of unrest with everybody else on the train, and he begins to think that the parent, who seems oblivious to this whole thing, is being rude and disrespectful, not considerate of everybody else on the train. So after tolerating just about as much as he can, he decides that he's going to approach the parent, and he finds out that the mother of the children, the parent's wife, had just passed away, and they were coming back from the hospital. Instantly, and the parent said, obviously the kids, they just don't know how to handle it. They just don't know what to do. And obviously he wasn't ignoring them. He's still in a state of shock, trying to digest this whole thing. And if you read the book, you know what I'm referencing. But the reason why I mentioned this in the beginning is because he's talking about perspective. In one instance, he sees it as kids being unruly, parent being disrespectful, and then immediately, within a second, he switches to he's being more sympathetic now, more understanding. And the reason why is because his thinking is different. He's seeing the situation from a completely different point of view. And the reason why I mention that is because that's what sales is. A lot of people have a perspective of sales that may be giving that a set of a mindset that may not be helping them produce the results that they really should be producing or want to be producing. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to talk about developing a mindset. And what we found in our school is that this mind, what I call the heart of sales, is because the mindset really helps them produce at a higher level. So, for example, when you think of the word salesman or saleswoman, what do you think of? Okay, when you think of you're going to, I'm just going to switch this over for you. When you think of the word salesman, what do you think of? Now, I've taught this seminar all over the country, and literally you hear the same things. They're out for, they want my money. They're going to take advantage of me. They can't be trusted. This is what we've been conditioned to believe sales is all about, that it's this competition between me and them. And I win if I get the sale, and I lose if I don't get the sale. And the problem with this is that when we ask people, whether they're young people or older people, that we want them to do sales. We want them to teach introductory lessons and sign people up. We want them to do sales. Or you're going to be a renewal director, and you're going to be in charge of upgrading people, which still is sales. And many times they feel uncomfortable about this because they know what it's like to how they feel about salespeople. So what we've got to do is we've really got to take a look at this and make sure that we've got the right understanding of what we're trying to accomplish. And before I want to go any further, I'd like to give credit where credit is due. Most of this I didn't create. Okay, so don't hang up yet. But I've had the privilege of working with the Zig Ziglar Corporation. And when I say working with them, is not only attending sales conferences, but this isn't just another seminar where, I've read book, I've gone to seminars, I'm going to tweak it for martial arts. No, what we did was we went a step further. Several years ago, my entire organization hired the Zig Ziglar Corporation to come to our school. And what we wanted to do is we really wanted to learn their sales systems because I felt that they were a company that did sales with integrity. They were a company that did sales with the customer, with the customer's need as the focal point. And I got to tell you, we were pleasantly surprised. Their system is, the heart of their system is one that we could all feel good about. Let's just say that. So through this process, the first thing that we want to ask ourselves is, when you hear the word salesman, what do you think of? And most people are going to probably agree that they're not having the most pleasant association to it. But the true meaning of sales is to solve problems. And this isn't just a play on words. Okay, we can debate back and forth, is this a play on words? Am I trying to manipulate people? But really, this has got to be something that's why I call it the heart of sales. This has got to be something that you really feel and you really believe. The true meaning of sales is to solve problems. When the customer comes to you, when the parent comes to you, they got a problem. Maybe their child's battling self-image issues or lack of confidence, lack of self-esteem, or they're being bullied. This is their problem. Maybe they're fed up with the negative influences and they want their kid to be around something more positive. This is their problem. Maybe they just want their kid to have some exercise. This is their problem. And our goal is to help them solve that problem. And we'll get more into it, how we do that in the process. The sales process is a process of uncovering needs and then offering the best possible solution to solve those needs. So just digest that one more time. The sales process is a process of uncovering needs and then offering the best possible solution to solve those needs. So if you're on the webinar, we kind of got this as like a setup for you as a questionnaire so that you can take notes on it. And this is really important that you understand that when I'm in the process of quote-unquote selling, whether it's an intro or we're actually sitting down at the table and we're going to enroll them on an agreement, my goal is to uncover their need, and then what I want to do is offer them the best possible solution to solve those needs. But I've got to make sure, as we'll get into it in a little bit, I've got to make sure that I do a good job first and foremost of understanding their needs, really connecting with them, trying to really jump in their skin and understand what they're trying to solve, and then show them how my service can help them. And I've got to make that clear as well. And we'll get into that in a little bit more. People don't buy for 5 reasons. This is important because when you're looking at the end of the month, maybe the people that didn't join, me and my team, we tend to always go back to this. So people don't buy for 5 reasons, and here they are. Number 1, no time. They don't have the time. Number 2, no money. That would be obvious. They can't afford it. Number 3, no value. They don't see the value of your service or your product. Number 4, no urgency. I can do it later. We can put it off. And number 5, no trust. That's an important one because trust tends to be the one that people think either you're just trying to make a sale. Let's think about that. You're just trying to make a sale, and the product or service isn't going to do everything that you say it can do. Therefore, we have a trust issue. Sometimes you'll see this where, let's say, for example, someone came in on a VIP, 30 days free, and we're going to try to enroll them into a regular membership, and they say, you know what, I like the intro, but I'd like to try class out. Right there, that's them telling you they don't trust you. Not in a bad way. I know that sounds pretty heavy, but what they're saying is they just don't believe that the product, the service, in this case the service, is going to do everything you said it's going to do. So there's a trust factor there, and according to the Zig Ziglar research, the number one reason why people don't buy is trust. They don't trust the salesperson. Great salespeople view themselves as problem solvers. Great salespeople view themselves as problem solvers. That's really the heart and the attitude of your intro director or your new student director or your renewal director. In this case, for some schools, they're one and the same. But that's really got to be our attitude, that I'm a problem solver. I'm going to find out where it hurts, and then I'm going to try to help them to see the solution. Now, as I talked about, we did a lot of work from the Zig Ziglar Corporation. And they have this acronym for trust because they believe that is, in fact, the number one issue when it comes to sales. But this is a formula that we've been able to relate to in any of our sales process, and I'm going to explain that in a second. But let me give you what the acronym is. So first, it's trust. The T stands for think. The R stands for relate. The U stands for understand needs or uncover needs. The S stands for sell the solution. And then the T stands for take action, which simply means close the sale. One more time, it's think, relate, uncover needs, sell the solution, take action. So how would this relate to, let's say, a program director? Well, if you've done the phone call, you did the info call, you know the person that's coming in, over the phone call, they're asked about their goals. So prior to going into the intro, I really want to think about this person that's coming in. I want to think about what their goals are, and I already want to put myself in the mindset of exactly how I'm going to help this person. See, one other thing about great quote-unquote salespeople is they know their product. They know their product and they know their service extremely well. And because they know their product and their service extremely well, what they can do is they can create for you a clear picture of how we can help you with your goals. So let me just say that one more time. They know their product or service really well. So what does that mean? If you came to me and you said, I want my son to have confidence, I'll tell you how we're going to help him with confidence very clearly, very articulately, so that you see how, in fact, my program can help you. It's got to be a clear image in their mind, but we'll get more to that in a minute. So prior to the intro, I want to think about this. All right, this kid is coming in for confidence. He's 9 years old, and I kind of want to put myself in their position. Next thing you want to do is you want to relate. Well, we know this is extremely important. Rapport building. Okay, in our school, when you come in for your introductory lesson, you're met at the front door, and the first thing we do is we do a tour with you. We take you on a tour through an entire school, and we want you to be familiar with our facility, but we want you to see what we have to offer. And you're going to see some of this quote-unquote sales stuff in that tour as I begin to explain it. But what we're also doing is we're beginning to build rapport. Mirror and match. Is the child shy? Are they outgoing? How's the parent? Are they engaged or disengaged? Where are they at? And we've got just a little bit of time to start to really build that trust. We can also continue in the interim as they see me working with their son or daughter, and I'm bouncing back and forth with the parent. We're building that rapport. I've got to get that connection. It's very important that in my intro process, I understand completely why are they here, what do they want. You can see that these are principles. This can be applied. It doesn't matter what style you teach. It doesn't matter what background. As we're talking about martial arts training, you could apply this to ChampionsWay, to Perfect Mind, as a customer calls. It's so universal and can be applied in so many different ways. But think about how would you feel if you were to go in and make a purchase, and the person really builds that rapport with you and tries to really understand what is it that you want to accomplish. What is it that you're looking to gain out of your training? Help me understand it. Now, once I'm clear on that, then I can now go to work and sell the solution. That's for us. That's what the intro is all about. We're going to show them how our program can help them with their needs. Once I feel that they've got a clear picture in their mind that we are, in fact, the most qualified for the job to help them with solve their problem, their need, well, then I'm going to take action now and make the sale. So this is how the acronym can be applied. These are the 4 selling principles, and I think it's important that we all try to develop the mindset and teach them to our staff, because you'll see why in a second. Number 1, selling is a process, not an event. Not an event. And that's why I like the tour, I like the intro, I like sitting down with them, because it's a process. It's not just coming in, saying you've got to really get that connection with them. They got to feel like you care. They got to feel like they can trust you, and they got to feel like you're the one for the job. You make more money solving problems for the customers than you do by selling products or services to them. One more time. You make more money solving problems for the customers than you do by selling products or services to them. Well, what does that mean? Well, think about it. What's worth more money to you? If I can truly help your son or daughter develop more confidence, or if I can teach them an outstanding sidekick. I'm not downplaying good martial arts. In fact, we all know a great deal of confidence comes from the fact that you are actually good at martial arts. But I think you'd agree that if I can develop your son or daughter to have more confidence, if I can help them defend themselves, I have literally altered the course of their life. The decisions they make, the clothing they wear, their spouse that they choose is all going to come from the way they see themselves and the confidence they have. It's much more valuable. Therefore, I can charge more money. Customers buy for their reasons, not yours. This is the one that everybody's just got to really get. And I know sometimes I get real passionate because I'm passionate about this stuff, so I'm not yelling at you. Please don't take it that way, but I'm yelling for you. We got to do this. I can't tell you how many times, me personally, when I go to purchase something, they will begin rattling off a script of all the reasons why they think I should buy. Listen, that's not important to me. What is the radio station that everybody listens to? WIIFM. What's in it for me? People are going to buy because you have done a good job getting them to see what's in it for them, how it can benefit them. So we want to, that's why I said these are principles. You want to understand these principles because you can, in fact, tailor make them to each and every situation. But just keep that in mind. They buy for their reasons. In a sales process, truthfully, the customer should be talking more than you do. I was once told it's not what you say, it's what you ask. What is it that they want? How can I help them? Customers buy for what the products or services can do for them. Keep that in mind. Customers buy for what the product or service can do for them. So what I want to do, and hopefully we're engaged in this because this is the best way to learn. Hopefully you're not listening to this and this is playing in the background because the takeaways are going to really come from your process, actually from your involvement in this process. So I want you to think of this. I want you to think of 3 services that you provide. And again, I've done these seminars. We've done them literally all over the country. And what we're about to do is very, very powerful. Okay, list 3 services that you provide. So you might provide karate lessons. You may do kickboxing. You might do self-defense. These are services. Now I want you to think of 3 things your customers want. Okay. Again, kids want discipline, they want confidence, adults want fitness, they want self-defense. Now remember this, always remember, features tell, benefits sell. Features tell, benefits sell. So now we're about to get into what we call the meat and potatoes here. Features tell, benefits sell. What does that mean and how does that apply? Remember your FFB. I'm going to tie this all together for you in a second. Remember your FFB. What is FFB? Feature, function, benefit. I'm going to give you a couple examples. Brian Flanagan, which is the guy that originally taught me this, who's the head sales trainer for the Zig Ziglar Corporation, he said that it's likened to this. A guy comes into your office, he's selling copy machines. He sees that you have a copy machine. He takes out a catalog and he starts flipping through all the pages and he tells you, stop me when you see something you like. He goes, and that's how most people sell. They just start rattling off things, hoping someone comes in your school or walk in and, yeah, I'm interested in classes. Well, great. We got self-defense classes for adults. And they just begin telling all these features. He goes, what they should do is they should say, I noticed that you have a copy machine. Can I ask you one question? Why did you buy that copy machine? Was it because on speed? Was it color? Or was it affordability? And now you get the customer to tell you what's important to them and how they make the buying decisions. It's questions that you ask. So the FFB stands for feature, function, benefit. Another good friend of mine from the Zig Ziglar Corporation once told me how he worked with a dentist. And I'm giving you examples because you can see how we apply this. He said, through the first time going through it, we can talk about a special retainer that your daughter needs. It's $2,000 and it's going to straighten their teeth out. Okay? All I heard was $2,000. Feature, function, benefit. Here we go. Feature. What is it? It's a retainer that goes on the inside of her mouth. Function. What does it do? It's going to spread out her teeth. Benefit. Because it's going to give her that perfectly round, white smile that's going to build her confidence. And isn't that what we want? Now I just heard round, white smile, and build confidence. Feature, what is it? Function, what does it do? Benefit, how does it benefit me? And team, if you don't mind me using that word, you got to remember a benefit is only a benefit unless it benefits them. Remember, we go back to our notes prior to that. Well, what does that mean? It has to relate to their needs. Feature, function, benefit. So let's put some legs to this. How do we use this? And how have we been using it? And then we're going to do a little exercise. Well, one, I mentioned that in my school, the first thing, when you come in for your appointment, my program director is at the front counter. You come in, it's a meet and a greet, and then we immediately begin with the tour. Now, the goal of this tour is to get you familiar with the facility, but more importantly, start to overwhelm you with value. The truth of the matter is, most of you probably have everything in your school that I have. The difference is, when people come into my school, we point it out to them, and we point out to the benefit to them. So, for example, you have matting, I have matting. But what do my prospects see? What do my potential customers see when they come in? They see the world's safest matting system because our safety is your number one concern. It's also the cleanest system because your hygiene is also our number one concern. Is the benefit. So what the parent has already seen is, wow, they're really concerned about my safety and my hygiene. You have a parent's waiting area? I have a parent's waiting area. What's the feature? It's a parent waiting. What does it do? Parents get to come in and watch classes. What's the benefit? Because we want the parents to be involved in the learning process so they can see exactly what we're teaching the kids, and it can be reinforced at home, because most parents don't want their kids just to be martial artists here, but they want to be at home as well, to be respectful and disciplined at home. Isn't that right? And it is right. There's the benefit. So during this tour, we're using this FFB process. Truthfully, this FFB can be used during the tour, it can be used during the sign-up process, and it can be used during the renewal process, and for the instructors out there, this can be used on the floor. If you want to get your students engaged in learning, tell them the benefit of what they're doing, how this benefits them in relation to their goals, and you're going to see them more enthusiastic about their learning. So this process can be used in so many different ways. Customers don't buy for your reasons, they buy for theirs. And what you're going to see here is you're going to see a worksheet where it says make a list of what people want from their training and apply the FFB to your selling process. What we're going to do is I'm going to give you a more accurate picture of how this can be used. Let's go to the sign-up process. Okay, you may do one intro, you may do two intros, you may do non-intros. This isn't the format to debate that right now. But let's get to the point where they're in the sign-up process. Okay, you've done the intro, it's been successful, and they're ready to sign up. The things that you offer a student are called features. So, for example, in my school, when you join a 6-month program. That's a feature. You get to train 2 to 3 times per week. That's a feature. Every 4 weeks, we do a stripe quiz, or what we call a progress check, because we want to make sure that the students are seeing progress. That's a feature. See, these are all features. If I could fast forward, and then I'll bring this around, black belt training. Okay, if you're martial arts school and someone joins black belt training, you may have them sign up for 24, 36 months. That's a feature. You may give them a uniform. That's a feature. You may say, hey, in black belt training, you get an extra seminar a month. That's a feature. You get to do weapons. That's a feature. You get to do sparring. That's a feature. You see where this is going. These are features. And remember what we said earlier, features tell, but benefits sell. Well, how do I take something as a feature and make it a benefit? The benefits only benefit unless it benefits them. And what we've got to do, team, is we've got to practice on how do we actually verbalize this stuff so that the parent clearly sees how this benefits them in relation to their goals. I know that this is an issue. We do have a fairly large organization, and I do speak for many organizations. I'm really happy to be a part of a quality team, real quality, of ChampionsWay. I can't tell you how many times when I hear the challenges, the problem is we're talking two different languages. What does that mean? The students all excited, and then I sit them down. I say, okay, what we're going to do is sign you up on our basic training program. It includes 6 months of training. Right then and there, why 6 months? Why not 3 months? Why not 12 months? Why not month to month? Do I have to sign a contract? All these thoughts go unanswered. And then when they do start coming out, we start backpedaling because I don't know. Why do we do 6 months? And if you say something like, well, we do 6 months because if we're going to invest in you, then you're going to have to invest in your training. Well, you just told me why it's good for you, but you didn't tell me why it was good for me. And we're not just wanting to sign people up. We're wanting to create raving fans. We want to make it so that when people willingly want to sign up at our school, they're excited to sign up at our school, and they go brag to everybody about it because they see all the value and everything that they're going to be getting with their training. So most of what I wanted to accomplish today is I wanted to accomplish just getting the mindset of it's all about them, understanding what an FFB is, understanding how it can be applied to the tour, to the new members, to enrollments, to intros, to renewals, to upgrades. It can be applied everywhere. And when it's not applied, you may, on a good side, you may get the sign up, but you didn't create a raving fan. On the bad side, you don't get the sign up. And worse, people walk away with an impression of you that you probably don't want. So we've got to do a really good job of explaining, and I'll do that. We will do that on our next segment, our follow-up, where I'll actually show you in our sign-up, here's the features of what you get, and here's how we explain the benefits of them so that they can clearly see why they're doing. So just a picture of that is why would somebody sign up for 6 months? Well, if they're coming into us for confidence and self-esteem, according to the experts, one of the greatest ways that you can raise someone's confidence and self-esteem is through accomplishment. Plus, it's a system that teaches goal setting, which teaches work ethic, and the list go on. And that's why we do it this way. Everything in your features has to relate to training, or else it doesn't make sense to the student of why we're doing it. I was recently just working with a school owner, and when he told me how long he signed people, I said, why do you do that? And he went on to explain how it benefited him, but he wasn't really clearly articulating how it was benefiting the student. And that's probably why the sign-up percentages aren't there. Before I bring it to a close, Sensei Nick, do we want to take some questions and answers now?
Absolutely.
Okay.
All right, let's see what we have here. Mr. Garcia, amazing.
Okay,
great information. I'm taking some notes myself here.
Thanks.
Loved it. God, let's see what we have here, Mr. Garcia.
Okay. I do have a gift that we're going to give them. You want me to mention that now, or do you want me to?
Absolutely, that'd be great.
Okay, I did get permission from Vahid that I had mentioned the tour, and that's probably one of the best ways to see the FFB in its most simplistic form. If you will email my associate, who I work with, which is Bill Storm from Cornerman, we're going to send you out a free link to watch the tour and actually watch a kid's intro. All you got to do is just email Bill, B-I-L-L, Storm, S-T-O-R-M, at Comcast.net, and just request the free video tour, and he'll get that out to you. But I don't like to teach people information without giving them something concrete that they could learn and use and go to work and put it into their schools.
Absolutely. Okay, so Mr. Garcia, what we're going to do is I'm going to briefly go over a little bit about Mr. Marketer while we're waiting for the questions to come in.
Okay, sounds good.
And then we'll go from there. All right, so Vahid asked me to do a presentation real quick to explain to everybody a little bit, some questions that were coming in. So what I'm going to do, guys, is go over real quickly exactly what Mr. Marketer is while we're waiting for the questions to come in. And Mr. Garcia, just a lot of the information you were taking was exactly like I couldn't agree more. When I transitioned from actually teaching martial arts to working with ChampionsWay, you know, one of the things that has helped me a lot was I just give people honest opinions, and I try to keep my reputation from just, you know, being honest with people, developing that relationship. And that was how I built my school as well. Like, you know, you had to find out what they're looking for and everything. I agree with everything you're saying. It's awesome.
Yes, sir.
And with Mr. Marketer, Mr. Garcia, what my idea was there was three things I wanted to do. We wanted to help people save time. Excuse me, help them save time, money, and then also automate a lot of things that they wrote into how to automate that could have been automated. Not things that they shouldn't automate, but things that just to make sure they were going on without them having to worry about them. And customer service, you know, there's nothing better than a hands-on approach and talking to your customers and so forth. But in some cases, when you're busy and you just don't have the follow-ups or whatever the situation can be, we try to help schools with automating those three things and saving them time and money. One thing I wanted to show people real quickly was just a couple of things people were saying about ChampionsWay or about Mr. Marketer. The first one was, here's one from Brian McCann, one of our clients. He was getting some leads in the middle of the night coming in. It's going on while he's sleeping, which is obviously, you know, what you want to do. Mr. Marketer from Russ Rocky is amazing. He's having a great time with it. One of our actual school owners, David Pantano, he actually was he was so busy for Mr. Marketer that his program director was actually wanting him to turn it off because they were getting so many birthday parties, summer camps, people calling in. And you can read that right there if you'd like, and I could show it to you later. And that's what we do. It creates a lot of activity and action for you. If you're kind of slow and you don't have a lot of action going on, that's one of the things that it will do for you. Here's a couple other ones. Mr. Marketer update just converted a lead into a student from 5 years ago. It does a lot of lead follow-ups for leads that have been in your database for years. Here's another one from the same gentleman. I got my first ever online sign-up from our Quick Start program. We do a lot of direct response marketing, which means that instead of having people fill out forms again and again, we want to offer online memberships, and that will actually get you some very serious qualified leads. Here's another one from Dynamic Martial Arts in Pittsburgh. We got more leads in the last 2 weeks using Mr. Marketer than we did 2 years using AWeber. Shane Tassel, just congratulating Master Freed on his innovation of the technology of Mr. Marketer. And another successful school owner, Julie Rigdon, just thanking them. It really helped them a lot. Master Ace Ramirez and RJ LeBaire. Just a couple, here's a little Facebook post I had from somebody. I asked him, you know, how it was going, and he said, you know, they're actually getting ready to do a bully seminar. We've gotten a lot of interest for that since the emails went out. Now we're planning an event. And I'm sure you agree, Mr. Garcia, one of the biggest ways, you know, is developing yourself as a community leader. A lot of schools just don't know how to do that. It's one of the things that, you know, if you're doing it already, that's great. If you need some assistance with it, we help you with the marketing and getting out to groups for, you know, bully prevention, kidnapping prevention, women's self-defense, just leadership skills out in the community. We're not trying to get you paid for it. We're just trying to get your name out there to let them know that, you know, you could help in those areas. One of the things we try to do, again, to help you save time and money, is to do 2 engaging posts on Facebook. That's the platform we use because that's the one that works. The engaging posts are usually things of, you know, asking some questions and also ebooks. When we're talking about ebooks, all they are written professionally letters or about life skills and character development, things that parents will actually, you know, enjoy reading, whether they're a student or a lead. The 5 ways martial arts improves concentration, focus, bully prevention, kidnapping, and every month we promote and make 5 new ones. Most of them are not style-based. They're more of just, you know, life skills-based and things that could get shared. So that's how that works. You also get hundreds of marketing materials and ebooks. Mr. Marketer, the three main things that we do: lead nurturing, student automation, and former student nurturing. What those are is that when leads come in, you're getting autoresponders for leads. The main thing that I really tried to do with this was I believe that everybody was thinking the same thing, and when everyone's thinking the same thing, in my opinion, no one's thinking. I look at every website. Everyone has 3 boxes, 4 boxes, 5 boxes, whatever, and then there's a capture form with a free trial offer. That is the standard pretty much now of every website in the industry. When I started seeing that, I heard that quote actually, when everybody's thinking the same thing, no one's thinking, from Bill Parcells, legendary football coach. And one of the things is true. So everyone's focusing on how to get more leads, and the way to get more leads or to grow any business, and I'm sure Mr. Garcia agrees, is from referrals. So if you're focusing on and asking the wrong question about how can I get more leads, instead of how could I improve my service for my students, how can I give them better classes, how can I get them to wow, to be wowed by me and tell everybody about me. Those are things we've implemented into student automation by creating customer loyalty programs, referral rewards programs, and things like that. Mr. Marketer also will analyze your data automatically. You get a custom mobile website. This is the ebook center that comes with it. It's an application on your website where every month there's new ebooks. So when consumers or leads or prospects or even students go there, they're always getting fresh content. Content marketing is one of the most difficult things because it takes so much time and effort. And unless you have professional copywriters and content writers, it's very time-consuming. That's one of the things we take off your hands. Here are just some of the examples of ebooks. There's one for Muay Thai. It's about 2 pages, but it looks very professional. If you offered a Muay Thai school or Muay Thai classes, you have access to those. One of the other things, this is what we call the incoming sales filter. A lot of schools that I've witnessed, they're not getting a lot of people into the databases, and then nothing happens with those leads. They're stuck on a sticky tab, or they never get in anywhere. These are just basic forms for outdoor events, walk-ins, and birthday parties that people would fill out, and then it goes automatically into your database. Lead automation, here's some, again, automated emails that go out. When a lead comes in, they're automatically driven to Facebook, so they could see, hopefully, if your Facebook is getting some referrals and people talking about your program, pictures of belt graduations and positive things. We also ask them if they like to refer a friend since they're interested in training. Quick Start program is your online direct response program. We have things where you can connect to emails that go out with videos that what others are saying about your school. I'm just going to keep going through this a little quickly. Summer camp emails, birthday party emails, there's birthday party ebooks, birthday party registration pages, surveys. These are the automatic surveys that go out. 246, first class, first lesson, birthday party, exit, lead 2 weeks, and then every season, winter, fall, spring, summer, an automatic survey goes out. It gets automatically put into your database, and those have built-in referral questions. Are they enjoying the classes? If yes, would you refer somebody? But you're also, more importantly, asking them about their current state of what they think of your facility. Is it clean? Is it how is your school appearance? What is the instructor energy level? And as a school owner, having this data is a lot better than going by your gut and having a staff meeting and saying, I think we need to do this. Well, why don't you look at what the data says and your customers are saying rather than just giving your gut feeling. This is an example of a survey. Like I said, for when someone has a birthday party, if you're, whatever type of school you are, if you're doing them yourself, get some feedback on if they enjoyed it, or if your instructor's doing it, or did they start it on time? Did they end it on time? Social media contests going out automatically to drive people to your Facebook page and to invite people to like your page. We use hashtags to promote your brand. Facebook review rewards program. If you're doing a Facebook review, it shows you how to automatically get reviews on your Facebook page, which will improve it will create a social signal to improve local search engine optimization. Remind students to follow your brand automatically, going out to make sure they like your Facebook page. This is a really, I thought, a unique idea that we came up with, which was, we call it landmark automation. Landmark automation allows you to, give your students that have been with you for a year up to 10 years a special gift when they've been training with you. So they would get an automatic email congratulating them, and then you were able to determine the prizes. We have a default image that would say, see the front counter, and then what you do is you come up with a prize system, for 1 year to 10 years. I would recommend getting very creative, giving them a book if they're a child, or something for to educate them. giving them a jacket when they've been there for 10 years. I mean, you could create your own system yourself. They come in, and again, you're getting that customer appreciation. One of the things we know is that customer loyalty is, that is the key. Customer satisfaction is where you lose students. They don't tell people about you. So that's one of the things that's automatically done for you. There's your community automated marketing emails and landing pages that coincide with it. Every email that goes out has a has a landing page connected to it, so that way you could see the conversion rates and what's going out. So and they're also mobile, meaning that if someone were to get a landing page, it would be available on a mobile device as well. Samples of some ebooks. These are the things we post on Facebook for you, and then there's a link so then people could actually download the ebook automatically. Like I said, 5 new ebooks per month. We even came up with video landing pages for people that want to get more personal and customize it. There's nothing better than sending a video message. So we have where have you been? Congratulations on your new belt. Thanks for the referral. Facebook contest, summer camp, quick start. And then you basically all you need to do is know how to make a YouTube video, and then you're able to connect that very easily. And then you can put that on Facebook, or you can email it to your students. And then there's your reports. All the surveys, all the Mr. Marketer results go inside there. We have actually, for the month of March, there's spaces for 12 more schools to get set up on Mr. Marketer. If not, you can wait until April. If anyone today was interested, you can contact Vahid or the sales team. We will waive the $500 setup fee, and we will also, today only, we'll give you a $300 gift card. So that is all I have. If there's any questions at all, you can contact the sales team. But for now, we're going to take it back to Master Garcia and answer some questions. A lot of questions coming in, which is awesome. All right, let's see here. First question, Master Garcia, is how does a 6-month contract benefit a parent?
There's a few different ways. One, it teaches goal setting. So most parents that come in fact, our intro talks about that. When we do intros with the kids, we don't give them the white belt. They have to earn the white belt. And we explain to the parents that this is the first lesson in goal setting. And it's important that kids develop the ability to set goals and to stick to those goals because here's the important thing, that if they earn rank, it raises their self-esteem and confidence. And think about how you feel when you earn rank. It obviously is a sign that you're making progress and you're getting better, so your self-esteem gets lifted. So not to be confused with a belt factory, but we want them to earn rank because we're really trying to develop their confidence. Now, the reason why we have them sign up for 6 months is because in our school, that includes 2 belts. Okay, it takes 3 months to go from white to yellow, 3 months to go from yellow to orange. And from the process of white to yellow and yellow to orange, they will have learned our basic skills that we want to develop in them to help them with their self-protection, and also to give them a really rounded view of what martial arts is all about. So that's how we mostly explain the benefits of signing up for 6 months. And there's other things that we can put in there. I don't want to make it too complicated. But I had a school owner of mine, a friend of mine, asked me one time, what's the benefit of signing somebody up for 36 months? Well, think about this. Jim Rohn says you are your influences. So if that's true, which I believe it is, then you get 36 months of positive influence because they get to be around the instructors for the next 36 months. Again, this is not a play on words. This is the truth. So I would certainly sell that as a benefit. For the next 36 months, they're going to get the mentorship and influence of their instructor, which will put him through, if he's 9, he's going to start going through 11, 12, a lot of negative influences out there that can combat what the parents are trying to teach him in the household. So it's a real positive thing. I hope that helps.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Let's see here. I am brand new to Mr. Marketer, and I can't say how much they go out of their way to help succeed to their attention to detail. Their attention to detail is top shelf from Eric Myers. Thank you. Also from Eric, I have been to Master Garcia's school a few times, and it is truly a major inspiration to all of us. It is truly a perfect dojo. I am absolutely going to try to see if I can get out there soon too, Master Garcia. I've heard so much about it from so many different people. Let's see what else.
You guys are more than welcome to. We love having visitors. The guys love it.
Really? That's all. Now, Master Garcia, where are you located?
Well, we're about 40 minutes south of Boston. We're actually in between Boston, Mass, and Providence, Rhode Island. So when people fly in, you can fly into Boston, you can fly into Providence, either way. But if you're a football fan, we're right next to Foxborough Stadium, which is where the Patriots.
Oh wow! I am. I'm actually getting ready this year. The Eagles, when they go to the Super Bowl, I have my tickets. I'm getting ready to get them after we just made an amazing trade this week.
Oh, no.
So I've been watching. I'm a big Tom Brady fan too. I think he's the best quarterback. But I think this year, I think that we have the next Tom Brady and Nick Foles. But I'm sure people are going to kill me for that one. But anyway,
you like a lot of our training because we actually talk a lot of football metaphors because I think that again we're a little bit more familiar with the Patriots, but I think that in the Patriots team, you see a lot of interesting dynamics that works really well for staff development. Just comments that after games that they give, it's priceless in the area of staff development. So we tend to also provide that when we do our training.
That's awesome. One of my favorite books, Master Garcia, The Patriot Reign by Bill Belichick.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I mean, people. That's awesome. I think that's why I like your style so much, because these football teams and these coaches. I mean, they have to be master motivators. They have to be amazing leaders, and the pressure, I mean, is amazing because if you don't make the playoffs or win a Super Bowl, you're going to get fired.
That's right. And to relate that to staff development, one of the things that Tom Brady always says is everybody's expected to do their job. And it's the same thing in your dojo. Everybody's expected to do their job. The instructors are expected to do their job. The program director is expected to do his job. And when everybody does their job, you create this synergy. And the dojo is just operating on all cylinders.
Absolutely. That's awesome. So you're a Patriots fan. Well, maybe we'll see you in the Super Bowl.
Yes, sir.
Okay, next question, Master Garcia. How do you recommend raising tuition?
How do I recommend raising? Well, I always recommend that first you make some changes in your school because people are going to, and it's a good question, and we've done this many times at our school, but we want to be able to fall back on we're giving more value, and because we're giving more value, it justifies the increase in prices. So whether from something simple to you put a fresh coat on your dojo and add in some new flooring to hire more staff if that's the case, but you want to justify exactly why you're raising your prices. You may come from the perspective of, because I just think we're worth it, and we've been charging so little for so long. Agreed, that may be the case. But in their mind, you've already, quote unquote, sold them at that price. So now you got to resell them on the difference. So I would definitely make some changes.
Absolutely, that's great information there. Here's another one I have it in the box. Nick from Robert Fox. I have tripled my leads in the first month with Mr. Marketer. Robert, that's great, and we're glad to hear it's working for people. That's awesome. And at the end of the day, to Mr. Garcia, one thing I explain to everybody is, I'm sure you'd agree. I don't care what technology or whatever, a system, internet marketing, but at the end of the day, like it comes down to your classes.
Yes.
I mean, it's like,
yes.
it's like everyone has the secret and this and that. But if you're teaching great classes, I mean, it's so simple. But that's how you'll get more referrals.
There's no sales script or sales strategy in the office I can give you that's going to compensate for a bad floor.
Absolutely.
The real magic and the real sales happens on the floor. But it's important that when you do bring people in the office, you are connecting dots, as we will in our follow-up segment. We will get more into that and show them how to do it. But you just got to make it clear in their mind how all this stuff benefits them.
Absolutely. Okay, another question for Mr. Garcia. We have time for about 5 more. How do you follow up with prospective students / parents who walk out of your dojo without signing up after you did a great presentation or trial class?
I really like early on in my career, I was taught something that I just thought at first when I was taught it, I was like, wow, that's pretty harsh. Not harsh, but just takes a lot of guts to do that. And I think that when people tell you that that they're not going to sign up, I think you should ask them. You should ask them right then and there. Usually what you're going to find is it comes down to either money or commitment. Those two still hold true. You'll also find that many times when it comes to money, they're not going to tell you that. A lot of people get embarrassed that they can't afford it, so they'll make up other excuses like, now may not be a good time because, summer vacation is coming around and something like that, because they're just going to save face. They may have to talk to their husband, but the reality is it's more money than they were expecting. That's a hard one with me because I tell my team all the time that money is completely related to value. A good point, hopefully people are still on, is what is value? Value is worth. So if something has value, that means it's worth something to me, and worth can only be created when you get them to see the benefit of it. But to answer his question, I usually ask them, I'll say, okay, I completely understand. Can I just ask you a couple of questions? Was it the schedule? And usually you kind of ask them like easy questions. Was it the schedule? Was it the program that you not did that would fit in with self-defense? No. Could you be honest? Was it me? No, you were great. No. Is it the money? And then usually, is it 6 months or is it the money? And then usually they'll tell you that once you kind of, just get them to relax a little bit, they'll tell you. And at that point, here's what you want to do. You want to find out how much. Say, well, how much are we off by? What were you thinking that you were going to pay? And then what the Zig Ziglar Corporation would tell you, let's say you charge $160 and they were planning on paying $100. You no longer have to make a $160 sale. You only have to make a $60 sale now. So you have to now bridge the gap of $60. And the first thing you do is you deframe it. What is $60? It's $15 a week. It's $7.50 a class. What do they need to recognize that makes you worth an extra $7? The fact that all black belts are on the floor, the fact that everybody's been training in this 30 years experience, the fact that you have a STAR program, that's what I do. Because many times what they're willing to pay, what they can pay, are two different things. And if they see the value, and if they see like, yeah, for $100 a month you could, but you won't get all this stuff, I'm sure many of you have experienced that buying a car. You went in there and said, that's it, I'm paying this much money for a car, and you walked out paying $60 more because you really wanted the one that they showed you.
Absolutely. Okay, we have two more questions. And do you say the longer membership saves you money as well as it takes around 3 to 6 months for a student to really see the benefit results? What do you think?
No, not at all. Again, this is my personal opinion, but listen to what you're selling. You're selling the fact that you're giving people, hey, if you sign up longer, we're going to save you money. That you're selling a membership. You don't want to be selling a membership. You want to be selling a training program. So in my school, the whole reason why you're joining 6 months is because you're going to earn the orange belt. And it's all based on goals, and it's all based on if I give you the incentive to join longer, they know you're baiting them. You're just trying to get me to join longer. There's no real lasting benefit to me other than I save some dollars. And you may say, yeah, but that's what they want. Value exceeds money every day of the week. So I think that's the wrong approach to try to get people to join longer by saving money. Not to mention you discount your prices.
Absolutely. And last question, Mr. Garcia. What is exactly the program you offer for coaching?
The program I'm involved with is I'm involved with Cornerman, and that's a combination of Bill Storm and one of my long-term members, Greg Silver. And they actually offer different levels. One of the things I'm most proud about this company is they pretty much have a program for almost any budget. What I provide for the program is I meet with my team, all of our schools on Monday morning, and this is 11 schools attend this training, and this is recorded for the school owners if they need to go back on some of the information, but it's also recorded because we give Cornerman clients access to that. So they get access to staff development, they get access to marketing, they get access to our SOPs, which is me actually training my team, our standard operating procedures of intros and so forth. And you actually get like you're one of our schools in the meetings. You get a behind-the-scenes look at it's live training. This is not staged. Behind the camera is about 30-something people. So it's real, it's live, it's exactly how I run our schools, and you get access to that. So you can get just a video subscription of Cornerman. you can get into, they have a whole curriculum program, and you can get into coaching. So they got a lot of different options, and I definitely would encourage you, because these are two great men, and I really appreciate their heart. And everybody says this, but they're really in it for the right reasons. They want to help people, and they want to help them at a very high level. So I would encourage people to check into it, and I'll be there. We offer seminars. We have a program directors college coming up in the second weekend in April. I can just look at my calendar real quick, at my school. So everybody's, if they want information on that, just email. They can email me if you'd like. I'll give you my email. It's kickers, KICKERS, the number 4, life, LIFE, don't laugh, at AOL.com. I know, I'm still an AOL guy. But they can email me, and I'll give them information on a program director college that we're doing. It's done for all of our schools, but we open it up to non-member schools because we want to contribute to the industry. It's actually going to be on April 11th and 12th at my school in Massachusetts, and you can email me and we'll get you more information if you want that. So I hope that helps.
Absolutely. Okay, and let's see here. Now this will be a real interesting one too. Our last question, and this is kind of to me and you. How do you approach a family who finished a 6-week START program and in response to a Mr. Marketer letter about their program expired, responded that the boys absolutely love the program, they learned so much, but they will be starting spring sports, so they will not return in the fall? You want to go first on that one, Mr. Garcia?
Yeah, sure. We've all been there, so let's just first start with that one. You're not alone. That's happened to everybody. And I can give you some things to do, but it's not a sure thing. Some people,
absolutely,
they are very, very dedicated to soccer, traveling soccer, whatever it may be. But what they may not know is some people think that martial arts is seasonal. They don't understand that it's ongoing. I've had people ask me, do you guys close in the summer? When do you have your next beginner class starting? Because that's what you get in gymnastics and dance. You get that kind of thing. I know a dance studio. It's one of the largest studios in New England. They close for the entire summer. I envy them, but we just don't do that. So people are used to it. So I would just let them know that if you could just have a talk with them. And it's really hard for kids to come back when they see their friends, advance in rank ahead of them. And he's been doing really well. He's been making a lot of progress. Maybe we could talk about an alternate training program for them. And usually what we do is just for that time being, because it's usually only about 8-9 weeks, maybe just have them come once a week. Maybe have them come on a Saturday. And then, that way they can kind of keep up with everybody else. I would leave you to work out the details, if they're coming once a week, can they test. I would do almost anything to save that student. So that would be my approach.
Love it. Great one. And then I'll add one more thing to that. I started in as a program director at Mr. Garcia, and I actually loved it. Like back in the day, I just loved doing intro lessons with people. I've read a lot of the Zig Ziglar and sales books, and I think that this is a really good question because I think that a lot of us this is something that might help you a lot, or everybody, and that's watching this webinar. I think that it all comes down to in the beginning of the introductory lesson when you were actually enrolled to people. One thing I think that we're all just blinded by, or we all think, is that sports are a competition. I'm a big sports fan. I played high school sports, love sports, played actually college soccer one year. But I think that when the students come in, or these prospects or leads, whatever you want to call them, introductory people, I think that during the process of doing the introduction, one of the things you should be asking is, so what are activities you're involved in? Are you thinking about doing other activities, whatever? And I think that, a lot of us as martial artists, we think that, they do soccer too, they do basketball. Well, why don't you take a different approach and say, oh, okay, so you're thinking about doing soccer or basketball, baseball, whatever it is, and using it to your advantage and saying that, that's great. So that all professional athletes all train in the martial arts. Like the ones that are very serious and that are that are trying to get ahead, this is a compliment to to your sports. The agility, the focus, the concentration. Like I'm sure if you want to be a great athlete, or if you have goals of being an all-star, whatever it is you're trying to do, you want an advantage. This is it. This is you're going to get the advantage through martial arts. So that will be the thing that instead of saying oh, that stinks, you have to do soccer. Sorry, like maybe not on this particular lead, Mr. Garcia, but in the future, if this person is having issues with that with the sports, Focus more on it as it being a compliment, like kind of flip the switch, so to speak.
You know what? I think that's a brilliant idea, to be honest with you, because I'm not going to name drop, but we have some prominent New England Patriots players that train at our school.
You can't name drop?
No, they don't take. We promised them. They don't take group classes though. They can only do privates only. But you know, what I take it a step further. I love that idea. What I would do, I think it's in the best interest of any program director to just go find some famous people in every sport that take martial arts. As soon as you find out the kid does soccer, be like, no way, do you know that? And drop a name like he does martial arts too, and immediately the kid gets to see that you can do both.
Absolutely. I mean, you know, we know this, that, you know, the martial arts is like, you know, the life skills, the focus, you know, but I think that, you know, you got to flip it on these people, because like the sports is like, I always believed, and I'm sure you agree, Master Garcia, I think I'm my biggest competition. Like, you know, like my leadership, where I'm taking my team when I was running the school, not the guy down the street or this guy's teaching this, or, you know, and if you start looking at sports as a competition, like embrace it. I saw a webinar. I think it might have been Roland Osborne. He was doing something with sports teams. You know, that's brilliant. You know, like he's working with sports teams instead of against them and pitting them as your competition.
That's right. That's right. Absolutely.
Awesome. Wow. Well, we're definitely going to, Mr. Garcia, I had a great time. I would love to do another webinar with you in the near future. That was great. I had a lot of fun, and now I know you're a sports fan. That's even better. You know, and hopefully we see you in the Super Bowl. But did you have any closing things you wanted to say, Mr. Garcia, before we wrap it up today?
You know, I just wanted to thank you. I thought that your last presentation was brilliant. One of the things that you said really stuck out on me, and I understood the heart of what you said when you said we want to just eliminate human error. I know that comes out kind of harsh, but it's true. You know, there's when you were even transparent enough to say that at your school someone had not followed up on leads, and I think if everybody was honest, we've all been there one time or another. So I appreciate what you're doing with the whole Mr. Marketer program, because I know for a guy that's been in this a long time, I opened my first dojo in 1989.
Wow.
I know. This stuff's brilliant. It's brilliant, and I love it. I absolutely love it.
Well, I know you've been busy, and I'm getting you set up on Mr. Marketer soon. I was told this, you know, give you a call in a couple weeks, and I can't wait, because I want to make sure that me and you speak together instead of, you know, I would really like to work with you personally and get you set up on that as well.
Thank you.
Okay, guys. Well, Mr. Garcia, thank you so much for taking time out of your schedule. Thanks, everybody, that helped us with the webinar, Vahid, Mahan, ChampionsWay, everybody. And I know, I'm sure you guys would love to see Mr. Garcia doing that webinar, and he will be. So we'll keep you posted. And that's it. On behalf of ChampionsWay, everybody, thank you so much for attending, and have a great day.
Thank you, sir.